Brittany Cartwright dives deep on estranged husband Jax Taylor's cocaine addiction on their podcast. Brittany Cartwright spoke at length about Jax Taylor's cocaine addiction on the Estranged Couples When Reality Hits podcast. Cartwright, 36, addressed the topic during the Friday, March 7th, episode of the podcast. No one wants Jax to be better more than I do, let's be real. I tried and tried for years to help this man get better, and for us to be a happy family, I was deeply and madly in love with him. There's no one that can ever deny that. You know? My love was real, she said. And I tried very, very hard to make sure that, especially after we had our son, that he was getting the help he needed. Cartwright said she took issue with the way Taylor framed the story of why he chose to go back to rehab. Taylor claimed that seeing his son Cruz, 3, in the back seat of the car while he and Cartwright were fighting was the catalyst. Cartwright claimed that that part wasn't the only reason, and Taylor was instead motivated to get clean because he was at risk of losing his job. She added she was upset that he wasn't motivated to stay sober for her and their son. She recalled the incident in question being yelled at in the car by Taylor after a night out as they made their way to a doctor's appointment for Cruz. Before a guy even texted my phone, he was already at my throat, already making me cry, and I was in the car for at least 30 minutes at that point. We almost pulled over so I could get out and call an Uber and put me and Cruz in an Uber. Like, it was bad, she said. Cartwright claimed a text from another man popped up on her phone, escalating the situation. He loses it. He starts trying to grab my phone and Cruz is in the back seat in his car seat. That alone is horrible. So he's reaching over, grabbing my phone, yelling at me, saying all this stuff. Then he started saying the most despicable things you could ever say to your ex. Cartwright added during the podcast that it was hard for her to hear Taylor claiming he's turning over a new leaf given how he has treated her. This is horrible. He has not changed. He's trying to act in public like he's this mental health advocate and this and that, and he's so much better, and he's giving all these excuses and doing all these victim mentality things, she said. And I was like, it's not fair. I am being yelled at, and this is a struggle on my everyday life. I was like, something has to be done. Earlier this week, Taylor, 45, revealed his cocaine addiction during the Tuesday, March 4th, episode of Alex Baskin's Hot Mic podcast. I have substance issues, primarily with cocaine. It's hard to say out loud, he shared. I've been dealing with this on and off since I was 23 and now I'm 45. There was times where I would stop doing it, but then there were times where I'd go heavy on it. Taylor divulged that he recently stopped drinking alcohol to help him stay clean from cocaine. People ask you, do you have an alcohol problem too? I don't necessarily think I have an alcohol problem, but the two go hand in hand, he said. I can't do cocaine without drinking. So I just gave up both. I'm proud to say I'm 83 days sober right now, which is the longest I've ever gone in my life without either. Taylor subsequently shared an exclusive statement with Us Weekly. For many years I've depended on alcohol and drugs as a way to cope and mask many deeper issues, he said on Tuesday. This past year has been the hardest year of my life, but also the most eye-opening and transformative. Coming to terms with my many mental health challenges and being honest about my addiction, both with myself and others, has been a crucial part of my healing. It's been a day-by-day process, but I'm committed to my recovery and working towards a healthier future in order to be a better person and someone my son will be proud of one day. Shortly after Taylor's admission, Cartwright broke her silence on Taylor's interview. She announced their separation in February 2024 after nearly 5 years of marriage and filed for divorce that August. The pair share son Cruz, 3. I'm glad that he finally admitted to what was really going on, Cartwright said in a statement to People on Tuesday. For the first time, I can speak openly about the extent of trauma he's instilled on our family over the years. She added, I've tried desperately to help him without success. I pray that one day he completely knocks this addiction, but I'm skeptical. His behaviors are still alarming and his treatment plan seems to be the bare minimum. And to those asking why I stayed if I knew he had a problem all these years. You can't help who you fell in love with, she wrote via her Instagram story on Tuesday. I've done absolutely everything in my power to get him the help he desperately needed. Unfortunately, I was naive and believed his empty promises and his pleas to change for years. Cartwright, so and see.